G'day guys. Had a few people ask about me rangy, so I thought I'd do a little video for you. Come on over and we'll have a look. Starting here, we've got 4-inch stainless snorkel. There's not a lot of modifications in the airbox for that, but yeah, it's bolted down to the body panel. Nice little angled head up top, and I've had to put a sock on the top of it. For anyone who drives with these things in torrential rain, I don't know if you've had that problem, but I got a lot of rain in there and I had to do something about it. Filled up the airbox and wet the air filter, and that's no good. Yeah, a very worthy investment. The 4-inch one is quieter than the 3-inch one that I had on my other Range Rover, so recommend that because you don't get as much induction noise with the bigger snorkel. Up next is the Foxwing awning. A few people have asked about that as well. That awning goes all the way around the car. It's a polycotton canvas awning. I've had this for about 7 years. It's just a Foxwing. Ozpan make them, about $700. Well worth it. Covers the whole car, it's plenty of shade and you can still walk underneath it. I've got it down low at the moment on the side, but it's all good. These tent poles, it was 7 years. They've done alright. They've copped a bit of a beating time to start replacing them, but it's a good awning all in all. It's a bit windy, you need to really strap it down. It's not too windy here today in my backyard. And it's also got this little drain here, weird looking thing. You can peg that down, and if it rains, basically the water will flow into the middle and down onto the ground. You can put a bowl or something underneath it and catch the water if you're feeling eco. And I've also put on all the poles a couple of Velcro strips, so I can put strip lights up there and run the wiring along here. I've put a little extra bit of Velcro so the wire can be neatly run along here and down into the back of the car for when I want to have a bit of extra camp light. Up next, we've got the ladder that was on there when I bought it. Previous owner in Sydney got that one. It's a Voyager off-road one, so I'd say that's from the United States, I think. And we've also got a wheel carrier, which the previous owner did as well. That's a Rigid Edge one from Sydney, made to fit a 100 series Land Cruiser, and it just slides into the chassis cross member at the rear and is bolted down. I've got a LED reverse light, camp light on the back here. That can be turned on, or it can be left in off mode or in reverse mode, so when I put the car into reverse, this comes on. It's on a telescopic pole, so that can adjust up and down. I've got gas strut on there, and my two-way aerial is also mounted to the back here. I've got a longer aerial for if we're doing big convoy trips and whatnot. This is really good, really handy because it frees up space in the spare wheel well, which is where I've got my gas tank. When you open up the tailgate, the first thing you'll notice is the drawers. 3 lovely sized drawers. Camping food, camping cooking stuff, butane cooker, and I keep all my recovery and tools and stuff in this one. When you open them up, there's a little LED light here that'll come on when you get past a certain point. You close it, it turns off. Very handy little addition. Also got a fridge slide in my 50 litre Waco fridge. Slides out nicely. Open it up all the way, get in, get your food out, beer, whatever you've got in there. Very handy addition, definitely. And with this little latch here, you can guarantee it's not going anywhere. Up here I've got spare parts and air filters, oil, stuff like that, my inflation stuff, toolkit, hockey straps. 2 spare airbags are in there. I have two spare air springs. And that's strapped down nicely to the drawers here. I've got tie down points just behind there, and I've got tie down points here as well. So I normally put water up here and strap it down when we're driving along. In here I have a C-Tech D250S controller that charges the second battery, but it also manages my solar. So you can see I just got to neaten this up. I only put this on the other day. Is from my 100 watt solar panel on the roof, and I can also put my unregulated solar through this Anderson plug here, which also goes to the C-Tech. This one here is my Waco Fridge I've just put it on a socket so that it doesn't jiggle loose. This is for the lights inside the drawers. And this is for my compressor, which is mounted just behind the drawers there, which you'll see in a minute. It's powered off the second battery. Also in here I've got the 130 amp hour battery. I've got my two-way radio is actually mounted in there and powered off the second battery. Power for the air compressors in there. Got a nice little voltage gauge here if you want to see how you're doing. 13.2 at the moment. That's the solar panel on the roof doing its thing. And a couple of extra plugs there for lights or whatever else. And this lovely little table, I only made this up not long ago. My partner gave me a hand. One of the ideas behind this was to make a camp setup that's pretty versatile but also easy to set up and pack up. It also makes more room for other things. You don't want to be packing bulky items into your camp setup. Just undo your wing nuts, spin around, do it back up. Pull the tent poles out of here, which I've shortened, and simply slide them underneath. These are adjustable because obviously the car has airbag suspension, so the car can be at various heights. And there you have yourself a nice little table. Very simple, folds away with the tailgate. Easy to set up, easy to pack up. And you can open all the drawers over the top of it all the way without going into your preparation area too much. Likewise with the fridge. It's a very tidy little setup. The only downside I can see is that I can't put a lot of groceries in here because the drawers have taken up most of the room, but that's something that you work around. You come around to this side of the car is my roof rack that my partner also helped me make up. We went into Bunnings. I didn't want to pay $1,100 for a rhino rack, just a little basic platform tray. So we went into Bunnings and I got this shade screen and a couple of eye bolts. I've got 6 eye bolts on here. I did this a couple of 3-4 days ago. I made this up. And I got some bracket and mounted my 100-watt solar panel up there as well. So these are rated at 300 kilos, these eye bolts. Not that I'm going to strap anything that bad. No, they're very handy. I put my Oz tent or my swag up there when we're going camping. Very cheap way of doing it. For about $150 you can make something like that up instead of paying over $1,000 for the gear from a Rhino rack, that's for sure. In the back here you can have a look and see that I've taken the rear seat out. The dog comes camping with us quite a lot, so we decided to take that out for him. And my little air compressor on the back of the drawers there. Now if you have a look inside the car, you'll see the switch for my gas. So I switch from petrol to gas here. It's got a little fuel gauge on it, and that automatically switches back to petrol if the gas tank has run low. I keep my handpiece for my 2-way radio up here, 80 channel 2-way. I've got a little suction mount for my iPhone, which I use as a GPS. A tyre pressure monitor system here, and it also has other things actually very neat. The temperature of your tyres, and it can tell the voltage of the battery. Over here I've got a low coolant alarm, which you'll see in the engine bay in a minute. A little outlet, a couple of outlets and a USB socket, and my locker switch, and a trailer brake controller here, which is very handy. Prodigy P1 I think it's called, Tech and Shop. Very handy little thing. Works very well. Tyre wise, these are a General Grabber all-terrain tyre, 255 60/18 on. These are Discovery 2 rims I think. Not my choice. I didn't want the 18-inch rims, but I couldn't hang on to the 16-inch rims off my old P38. My new owner of that wanted them. They're not a bad tyre. On the dirt, you need to let them down before they shine. If you're doing really, really rough off-road, about 18 pounds I found with these is really good pressure. They perform really well when they're let down, but if they're running at road pressures, they're not too flash. They are very quiet though, I'll give them that. Around in here, I've got my Optimum 900 cold cranking out battery, a D31A it is, 75 amp hour. I got the dual purpose one because this car sits for quite a long time while I'm away for work, or if I'm using my other car to get around. Over here on the coolant reservoir, you can see I've got the low coolant alarm mounted into the factory coolant reservoir. There's a fair few wires and stuff getting around here and whatnot. This is the computer for the gas system, and all the injectors up here, and the loom, and all the necessary gear for that. It takes up quite a lot of room and makes the job of getting a manifold off quite expensive. But it's there and it's very efficient on gas. I've got an outlet here from the compressor up the back, so I can pump my tyres up if I need to. And also a valve underneath at the air tank, so I can use my ARB air compressor to inflate the tank if there's a problem with this one for some reason. I've got a pressure gauge here for the suspension air tank. It's 130 pounds, which is pretty good given that it's not gone anywhere today. I've just moved it into the backyard. Set of valves here, so these for the air springs, I can inflate them manually. And this one here is for the air tank. If I have to go to a service station or something, I can pump the air tank up with that, which is very handy to have that. I've got a set of valves down here, ball valves, so I can isolate each of the air springs independently if I want to, if I have a problem, for example. And they're all got T-pieces here, so it completely isolates it from the valve block here. If something goes wrong, I can just do that, take the delay timer out if I really want to, but I don't have to, and get me home for whatever reason, or let the air out of the springs if I've got a problem and need to change one out or anything like that. It's very handy to have. And the only things I've got left to do to this, at the end of the year I'm going to lift it up. I've got a 2-inch suspension lift that I did on my previous Range Rover. I'm going to put that underneath this one, and I'm going to get a set of 285 18 BF Goodrich mud terrain tyres when they come out. Take it up to 33-inch tyre. But otherwise this is my camp setup. Other than the tent and chairs, that's it.